Sonic Racing CrossWorlds is just about 2 months away, and there is still a lot we don't know about the game in terms of what its DLC holds. Whether it be the free updates or just the season pass in general, we have no clue. From wild picks such as Hatsune Miku, or just playing it safe like Joker from Persona 5, or in terms of the season pass, Minecraft, SpongeBob, really? So I want to throw my hat, or beanie in this case, into the ring and see if I can accurately predict who is left for the Sonic Racing CrossWorlds free characters as well as the season pass.
Lights, camera, action.
Before we get into that though, if you don't know who I am, hi, I'm Sackboy, do Sonic news, reviews, and sometimes video essays. If you could, please like and subscribe, because we're trying to reach 4,000 subscribers whenever we do that, and will actually help me on the algorithm. Also, I live stream every Saturday at 11 AM PST and 2 PM EST. Please come check it out, we always have so much fun. Also, do not worry, I am not getting sick, it's just I always sound like this in the morning, and I literally got up like 5 minutes ago. Just to clear a couple of things up, we don't actually know if what's in the season pass is all we are going to get. There could be another one in the future, or they just haven't revealed the rest of it, like they were saving actual slots for reveal later. And same with the free characters, it's been reported that we could have 7 more, or 10 more, which is the more recent one coming from an official Sega post. But I feel like we're gonna go with that, and with the season pass, we're just gonna go with those last 2 that haven't gotten revealed yet. Let's start with the free characters. First, we have Joe Masosi. I don't know how to say his name, but he's from Shinobi, and I feel like this is probably one of the safest bets ever, mostly because he literally has a new game coming out in August. I feel like that's like an easy thing to get down, and you'll come to find out that most of these are Sega properties, so I'm keeping it very safe here. But yeah, he has the new game, so I feel like it would be just a perfect opportunity to have him in there, maybe have some fans of the Shinobi franchise come over to Sonic, and obviously those who bought Sonic Racing CrossWorlds maybe to buy Shinobi as well. If I had to pick one person out of all of these, it would probably be Joe. The next one is II from Super Monkey Ball, and this is another safe one. We've had a couple of Monkey Ball games come out within the past couple of years, so it's not too hard of a pick to say that II would be in there. Also, given the fact that Sonic has collaborated with the franchise multiple different times, especially last year when there was a Shadow skin added to the game, so I feel like that's just another really safe choice. Again, the whole Sonic fans to Monkey Ball to Sonic fans, and vice versa, however else you want to spin that. The next one we have is Knights from Nights into Dreams, and I hate to break it to you guys, but this one has technically already been confirmed. In the leaks, we saw a challenge type event going on within the game that included Knights as well as 2 other characters from the series. I have no clue who they are. Again, another Sega property, so I feel like this is just a really safe bet, and the leaks have kind of confirmed that Knights, whether it be a character or a straight up event, is going to happen either way. You know, scratch Joe from Shinobi off the top. I would put Knights at the top because it's already been leaked. Next one we have here is Beat from Jet Set Radio, and what I really want to nail down here is that we don't exactly know when these free updates for the characters are supposed to drop, so he could come at any time really, and they could correlate it with his game's release. And these aren't going to be in order, by the way, of when they would release, they're just picks that I think would come, not when they would come out. But yeah, if this goes on for long enough, I feel as though we could get Beat coming out alongside the new Jet Set Radio game, and I feel like that'd be great cross-promotion. Get it? CrossWorlds? All of the evidence I have for him coming back are his game, as well as the fact that he appeared in the All-Star Racing series. The next one we have here is Red from Angry Birds. Now, not specifically the circle version, I'm talking about the movie version, because we all know they abandoned those original designs years ago. I'd say this is another safe pick, especially considering that the Angry Birds 3, I think, is coming out in 2026. So, correct me if I'm wrong about that in the comments, or editing Sanic Boy. So, I feel like that's just a really safe bet, especially considering that now Sega owns Rovio. More cross-promotion the better, right? Obviously. So, if they could correlate it with the movie's release, I feel like that would be a really good plan. I would not be surprised if they did that. We're starting to get into the kind of obscure ones now, like ones I'm not too sure about, maybe not as many people know about, you know? but we'll have to wait and see. Anyway, we have Amigo from Samba de Amigo. This is like riding the line in between safe pick and not very safe, because not only has Amigo's game gone by like a couple of years ago, I believe, but also there just hasn't been a lot of buzz around the character of Amigo. I think the only thing keeping it in the riding line stage is that it's a Sega property. I could still definitely see it happening. It's just not nearly as much as the other characters. In the 7th slot, we have BD Joe from Crazy Taxi. Now, this is kind of an out there one, mostly because, again, not a recent Crazy Taxi game, like a big one to speak of, but they're also getting a new game with the Sega New Game Project, or the Super Game Project, or whatever they're calling it. Anyway, I feel as though it would be a really good choice for them to do this. Again, cross-promotion, but he's also been in the other Sonic Racing games, so you can pull him from there and say, oh, I know him, he's from those two, I like those two, we'll get this one now. This one's a little less likely, but you'll have to wait and see because there are a couple of crazy other picks on here. Alright, next we have Alex Kidd from the Alex Kidd franchise. Now, his last game was in 2021, and it was a remaster, it wasn't even like a full-on new game. So, Sega obviously still knows about his existence, but they just haven't really acknowledged it for the past, like, 4 years. This one's, like, really, like, out there, mostly due to the fact that he was technically still Sega's original mascot, but it's just... they haven't acknowledged him. Like, he's one of them forgotten Sega characters. So, I just hope they can kind of, like, bring him back with the whole Super Games initiative as well. But, this is, like, one of the least likely things to happen, in my opinion. In the 9th slot, we have Will from Metaphor ReFantasio. I believe that's how you say that. Some of you may be scratching your heads. What is that game? What? Will from ReFantasio? Like, what? Metaphor? What the heck's a ReFantasio? Don't worry. I'm in the same boat. Apparently this is one of Sega Atlus's biggest games over the last couple years. It came out last year, it got a bunch of awards during the Game Awards, or at least one. I know for a fact they got at least one. For them to feature a main protagonist from the game, I feel like is a really safe spot, especially since we've already seen a few other Atlus characters, like Joker from Persona 5. So, I feel like that's just a really safe bet. It's safe, but it has the least likely chance of happening, because Sonic fans have no clue who Will from Metaphor ReFantasio is. Alright, this last one is like a crazy take, so brace yourselves. The final slot in the free characters, in my opinion, is going to be Bayonetta. Yeah, I know, crazy take. Because those of you who know about the Bayonetta franchise would know that the last 2 games have been published by Nintendo and haven't been published on any other platforms, like, ever. However, that's only if you ignore the first game. The first game was published, and I believe developed by Sega? I could be wrong about that, maybe a secondary team and Sega just published it. So technically Sega still has the rights to the Bayonetta in the first game. So they could make a remaster of that, they can do a redo. Technically that's their game, so they can pull Bayonetta from that game. Again, this is like the least likely thing to happen, but I still feel as though it is in the cards, somewhere it is going to happen. If I am right about this, I am going to cry on stream when I react to it. Alright, with all the free characters out of the way, let's get into the final 2 slots of the Season Pass. Again, like I said, there could be more after this, but we don't know that yet, so we'll just stick with 2. Now, the ground rules that I had to stick with this are: the 5th slot needs to have 2 characters, 1 car, and 1 track. I didn't really care about the extra stuff like the music or the emotes, so you'll just have to, like, brush that aside. And the last one, pick 6, is going to have 4 characters, 1 track, and 1 vehicle. So, for pack 5, we have Woody and Buzz from Toy Story, and Andy's room or house, whichever they want to go with, and the RC that appears in the first movie. I don't know if he's any other ones, but that's where I remember him the most. This one is a crazy take, and I'll explain it, because this is one I wanted to put on my dream roster list, but I ended up going with another franchise, which you will see. The reason I put this here is because Toy Story 5 is coming out in 2026, I believe June 19th or something like that. Now, when this DLC is scheduled to drop is Q2 of 2026. Now, you could interpret this either in two ways. One, they're using a fiscal calendar, or two, they're breaking the calendar up into quarters, so that means the end of March would signify the end of Q1, and then moving into Q2, the end of June would mark the end of Q2. I would like to imagine that Sega knows that we don't know a lot about the fiscal calendar, so I am going to assume that because this makes me more right, I'm gonna go with the first option, where it's just breaking the calendar up into 4 parts. Obviously, I have to go with the first option. Anyway, that would line up perfectly with the movie's release. I think something Toy Story is going to come this year, and I feel like Disney is just like trying to pounce on that, trying to get it in most spots as possible, considering the fact that it's literally Toy Story 5. Yeah, the character's location in the RC, I feel like there's just pretty easy picks there, and oh, instead of the RC, they could have the Pizza Planet truck. That's like literally the only thing I could think of that could be a secondary vehicle. If they don't go with the RC, is the Pizza Planet truck. I feel like that has a really good chance. Alright, the final prediction in this entire thing. Pack 6 for the Season Pass, which includes 4 characters, 1 stage, and 1 vehicle. I am going to go with Movie Sonic, Movie Shadow, Movie Tails, and Movie Knuckles. All of them get their track in Tokyo, specifically where they fought Shadow. And the vehicle is Shadow's motorcycle from that film. That is a wild take, I know, but I feel like they would want to have something in there that's Sonic related. And it has officially been leaked that Movie Sonic and Movie Shadow are coming. We don't know in what capacity, whether they're free characters or part of the Season Pass. In fact, we haven't even seen them in gameplay. But the same guy who leaked Hatsune Miku, the same guy who leaked a couple of other people that were eventually confirmed, got into the thing. So yeah, I'm putting my faith in this, that the final one that has 4 characters is the movie characters. Now, it's kind of upsetting that we don't get like an Eggman, or heck, even Tom and Maddie I'll take, or a supersonic variation, or super variation of Shadow, you know, but I feel as though that is a good pick, solid pick. That's probably the thing I'm the most sure about out of this entire list, is the movie characters coming as the last thing. Because to be perfectly honest with you, I have no clue how they would justify bringing in the movie characters if not part of the Season Pass. Like, just as free characters, all of them? Really? Wouldn't Paramount want some compensation? You know, especially considering all of the other properties are Paramount, so just having one Disney thing in there would be really funny, but it still does make sense for me considering how much other Paramount stuff we got. Maybe the entire Season Pass will be Paramount, we don't know, but hopefully not, because I would still like to see other properties be represented there. But yeah, those are all of my big predictions for Sonic Racing CrossWorlds' upcoming roster, and I feel as though a lot of them are really good picks. I like, not to gas myself up, but I feel as though it's like really good. It's really good chance for all of them. So let me know what you guys think about all of this down in the comment section below. Am I right? Am I wrong? Let me know, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.